Hello, I'm Susan Harris from Cerulean, and on behalf of the Tocconé-Frankfurt Watershed Partnership and Abington Township, I have managed this project that you see here behind you. We have put in 3 rain gardens and a bioswale in the park here at Alverthorpe. We sought funding through the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, through the Department of Community and Economic Development, through the Watershed Restoration and Protection Program, and through DEP's Growing Greener program. So we've been awarded approximately $650,000 for stormwater improvements in the park. All of these projects that we're working on here are intended to clean and filter the water that comes off of the parking lot and other impervious areas. So at the main parking lot, we put in a bioretention feature, and it's a longer linear feature that we excavated out all the clay soil, and we added stone, small drainage stone, a perforated pipe, and then a soil mixture made of sand and topsoil and compost. So that really helps the water flow down through it versus our heavily compacted clay that we find in some areas. So the water flows off of this impervious area, and as it flows, it picks up sediment and goose waste and pet waste and other road particulates, oil and grease, and it might just run off into our creek. Well, now we have these projects, this rain garden here, that intercepts those flows and cleans it before it reaches the creek. So the goal of all of these projects is to reduce the volume of runoff and also the velocity. So we're really looking to slow it down, allow the pollutants to settle out, and then have a slow release back to the Jenkintown Creek. So here with us today, we have Temple students helping us do the planting. They are part of the senior design studio in the engineering program. So we've been working with them all semester, and they are conceptually looking at the park to make additional determinations on where stormwater projects could go. So it's a real life scenario. So we use these projects for functionality to improve water quality and stormwater management, and we're also using them for academic purposes. So there's a lot of education that surrounds them with the students, with the public. We have projects at congregations, we have projects at public parks, and also with the school district. So we use these as tools to really share the importance of clean water. We're working through the Delaware River Watershed Initiative, and through that initiative, we're looking at where we can aggregate projects. So within Abington Township, we're really focused on the Jenkintown Creek. See how much it really takes to take an impaired stream out of that impairment. So how much of these stormwater projects and plantings does it take to clean up the watershed? So we've been working on this project holistically throughout the watershed since 2014. We've worked with a number of landowners in Abington Township, and we do outreach to them, and we support these large landowners with grant writing, with project coordination, and with implementation of the project. So the Tocconé-Frankfurt Watershed Partnership really sees these projects through, from writing the grant to finishing the project and closing it out. Here at Alverthorpe Park, this project, the township is able to take credit for it through their pollutant reduction plan, which is a requirement of the state for all of our communities in the southeast region have to implement plans which improve water quality, so reduce the pollutants and the sediments from the runoff. So we just recently completed installation of a 525-foot bioswale and 2 rain gardens. So in our conversations with Abington Township, we looked towards this ball field because it was continuously saturated, and it wasn't really being able to be used by Penn State University for their softball and baseball tournaments. So we looked at a solution to better manage the stormwater and also clean it. This area, it takes about 8 acres of off-site contributing area from the hillside, from the Parks and Recs storage lot. It comes through the pipe on the path, and then it flowed down through here in its existing condition. So what we did as a solution to address the concern was we widened and we deepened the swale. We took out some of the clay soils and we brought back in stone and sand, which has more capability for water to drain down through it. At each of the points where we installed rain gardens, midway and then again at termination, we are providing storage for the stormwater. So in small storm events, the water will flow through here. In larger storm events, we'll have an area for impoundment. So that water will be held back. And the sediment and goose waste, all of that will be cleaned from the water before it reaches the creek. So this project was just finished about 2 weeks ago, and we've seeded it with a native deep-rooted conservation seed mix. So when that germinates in the spring, we'll see a variety of wildflowers that will establish through here. We're also going to come back and plant some of this. So we're going to add some trees to it, and we'll add some shrubs, and we'll add some additional perennial plants. So those plants, they really help utilize and clean the water also. Our typical grass, turf grass, it only has a 2 to 4 inch deep root system, whereas some of the meadow vegetation that we're going to put in can have 4 to 8 foot deep root system. So it really helps with preventing erosion, and it helps with cleaning the water. So this project, it was funded through Growing Greener and the Department of Community and Economic Development, and we're happy to see this one complete. We've got some nice stonework. We maintained an access so that the ball fields can be mowed regularly. So what you see right here behind us is the access path to get into to use the facility. And that's an important part of the projects as well, is making sure that the stormwater improvements aren't impeding the daily use of the project and of the site. So we're happy to have completed these projects this fall, and we're grateful that we've been awarded additional funding to look at more opportunities within Alverthorpe Park. We have recently received a Growing Greener fund that will look at the outfall from Jenkintown Road. So that collects about 16 acres of road and residential neighborhoods, and we're going to intercept that pipe before it discharges to Alverthorpe Lake, and we will provide a stormwater management system below the existing storage lot.